A Syrian government inquest into last week's massacre in the town of Houla has cleared government forces of blame, saying instead armed groups were responsible for the killings. The United States has called the report a blatant lie. The US has accused Russia of propping up the Assad regime and called for international unity to avert the growing threat of an all-out war. Middle East correspondent Ann Barker reports.
Mourners attend another funeral at Houla, where a week ago 108 people were killed in one of the worst attacks since the Syrian conflict began. The death toll at Houla continues to anger the world and has shifted talk of possible peace into warnings of full-scale war if the government continues to flout the 8-week ceasefire.
The massacre of civilians of the sort seen last weekend could plunge Syria into a catastrophic civil war.
Satellite pictures shown on the BBC prove that Syrian army forces were in Houla a few hours after the massacre, but they don't prove government forces were to blame, and the official Syrian inquest has now cleared them of any involvement, instead blaming armed groups.
After Friday prayers, a synchronised attack began by armed groups from neighbouring areas in coordination with local armed groups.
The US Secretary of State says the case for military intervention in Syria is growing by the day, but that if Russia doesn't give it support, it'll be contributing to a civil war.
The Russians keep telling us they are providing a stabilising influence. I reject that. I think they are, in effect, propping up the regime at a time when we should be working on a political transition.
Until then, the violence in Syria will continue unchanged, and more funerals like this one are a certainty. Ann Barker, ABC News.